in a positive way. And I just want to say, we got to do better than what we're doing. But nevertheless, I'm going to continue to do my best to make sure that everything is going to be okay. I don't know what's going on today. That don't supposed to be up there yet, but let me move it right here. There you go. How you doing? How's everybody doing? When you're working on things and trying to get things done properly, there's always something that's going to come along and change the atmosphere of what you're working on. How's everybody doing today? I hope that everybody's blessed and had a great night of rest and woke up right as in bushy tails this morning to let you know that, hey, it's all about love. That's right. We got to start showing each other more love than anger and violence that's going on in our world. We got to do better. We got to be able to show our young people that is we have to come together and teach them, and as the Bible used to say, train them while they're young so they won't go wrong. So that's where we are today. And just going to reach back and touch on some things. I'm trying to find something that I can't. It's always when you're trying to find the things that you need to find, you can never find them in time. But today we want to celebrate, because we're getting close to the end of this month, Women's Women's History Month. That's right, Women History Month. They only come around once a year. So if I could have my way, I have Women's Month every day. Every day. No doubt about it. We sometimes overlook the fact that women, it plays a major role in our future generation. But at the same time, we also have to remember men play an important role as well, because a woman didn't have a child by herself. So that part of the child is hungering for the love of the father. Just like if something happened to the woman and the father takes uh, a daughter, that daughter's going to hunger for her mother's touch. So when we don't have that, when our children don't have that, they feel like they're being loved by the streets, and that's how they get into gangs and other situations, because the streets tell them, "I got your back. I care about you." And what happened is they're not paying attention to us anymore. They won't. They are not listening like they should. And when that happens, we lose them to the streets. And the next thing you know, the pipeline to prison comes along. And then they're incarcerated for many of years. So what are we going to try to do in 2024? Try to bring forth more positive activities, more conversations that that can reach them by celebrating women. And I want to start off today with this young lady right here. And most of y'all know her by Rhoda. That's right. That's Rhoda, all jazzed up and out and about. You can't you can't hold Rhoda down. She's one of the top. If not, she is the top reporter in the 757. And I have met her several times and discussed with her different topics. And she's a very nice lady. She works hard at what she do. She covers a lot of events, and sometimes there's no pay, but she's there for the community. So we salute this woman right here, Rhoda, for all what she do in the community, all that goes about in the community, that she makes sure that we get coverage when the local stations don't do it. And she's always helping out people. And I just love her new picture she had done. You know, there you go. That's her right there. Now you see who I'm talking about. I know you couldn't recognize her with that, all glamorous stuff like she going to the Oscars. That's Rhoda right there with the mic in the hand. Hey, Rhoda, from now when you dress up, make sure you got your mic in your hand. You already know how you do. You know, you already know how she do. The #1 journalist in the 757. Breaking news, always breaking news. When I want news, I turn to Rhoda. Then I turn on the TV, to get some commentary. But Rhoda don't be playing no games. Rhoda be out there on the job, and I appreciate Rhoda. We can talk about whatever we want, but Rhoda be doing the thing to make sure that we are being recognized in the 757 VA2 up and 2 down on the East, up and down the East Coast. She's traveled to different states and cities to cover events. So let's give a great big salute to Rhoda, and don't forget to let her know that I saluted her today, because it's important to keep people motivated. Because when you're doing things and talking to different people and covering a lot of situations where death and child abuse and fighting and bullying going on, that's a lot of negative energy, and it can affect you mentally and emotionally and spiritually as well. But you try to cover yourself in prayer and let God do the rest. But we all on the battlefield, but Rhoda's on the battlefield much more than most of us. And I salute her. I can't always, catch all of her shows. One time they took her off. I tried to figure out what's going on. Did Rhoda block me from her lives? I had to go and search and find out what was going on. I finally found out. I'm not going to say I found out. I just found a way to get it back on my page. So when I be doing things, you be Rhoda could probably tell you, you'd be very surprised of how Facebook and these social media platforms will block you when you're talking about too many things of importance to our community and bringing positive energy to our community. But Rhoda is always there supporting, and I hope that y'all tune into her show and support her as well. Women's Month, those that are out there on the field, making sure that we get the message, we get what's going on, we find out whatever way we can. If we come together, we can solve a lot of problems, because no man is an island unto himself. Our youth is perishing, dying, is because it's a lack of knowledge, a lack of love. Everywhere you turn today, I don't care where you turn, where you go, it's all about violence. It's all about violence. And that's why I appreciate Rhoda. Man, shout out to Veronica. How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for chiming in today. We'll talk, just discussing women's celebrating Women's Month. So you'll know what the topic is: Woman History Month. And Rhoda has made a lot of history in the 757. So I take this moment to applaud her, and to those that are in attendance of this show today, that you as well, if you see Rhoda, honk your horn, or if you see out there on the scene, always, give respect to Rhoda. It's a lot of people, like the scriptures say, many come, but few are chosen. And Rhoda's been doing a tremendous job as long as I've been knowing her, for about 4 or 5 years or longer. She's always out there. She's out there when no one else is there, covering stories. And whenever you see Rhoda, always, fellas, step up to the plate, make sure that our queen is protected. Our queen is protected. We have to get information to our community. We have to get those things known so that our future generation knows somebody that cares. We cannot continue to pass the buck, trying to figure out why this, that, and why this is going on. It's going on because we won't come together. We won't come together. We talk about things, we look at things in a different way. But one thing we can come together with, I hope that we do anyway, because this is going into the 4th month. In a couple of more days, we'll be in the 4th month of 12. And in November, we have to make a choice. And if you got kids, nieces, nephews, next door neighbors, you have to tell them to register to vote. The vote, so that it counts. If they 17, started in April up until November, they have an opportunity to make history. Put the gun down and go to the voting polls. Go to your registrar office and register to vote in November. The most powerful weapon you got that don't cost you a dime, might cost you a little time. But if you go and get registered, you can let your city council, you can let the state know, we ain't taking this stuff no more. We are not going to take this stuff anymore. You can tell the school board, we ain't taking what you're putting down anymore, taking away our programs, telling us what we can't have anymore. We're not going to take it. If you're still in school by 18, if you're not, make it easier for the people that's coming behind you. Once you graduate, you're about 17 or 18, you have to make it better for the next generation that's coming behind you. So it's very important to get acclimated, to go down to the register office, get several of your friends that got cars. Y'all get together and go to the register office together and register to vote. You don't have to wait for an adult to tell you, because when you turn 18, you are an adult. You own your own. Everything you do is on you. The dime you're trying to get, it begins with you. But registering to vote is important for our future generation. You are the future. Don't let nobody keep talking down to you. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't be nothing or you're not worth anything. Voting gives you the privilege. When you turn 18, you are an adult. Don't get out there with gangs. You want to make a gang? Get a gang and go take your gang to the register office and vote. Register to vote. And see how they get mad with you. Stop playing games. You have power. You want to shoot a gun, go in the military, they'll pay you. And they paying a lot of money for you to come register there. But if you want true power, become a registered voter. Martin Luther King, Megan Everett, Malcolm X, the Kennedys, all these people made it possible for you to be where you are today, and amongst a whole lot of other Afro-Americans. They just tell you about a few. They tell you about a few. But when it comes to your family and your friends, you have to take a better stand for your brothers and your sisters, your nieces and nephews. Don't let nobody tell you you can't change. We all make mistakes. That's why they got an eraser on a pencil. When you go to school, you got to have number 2 pencil, and on the end of it is lead, and on the other end is eraser. Meaning that if you make a mistake on paper, erase it. The same thing with your life. If you make a mistake, acknowledge that you made a mistake, and acknowledge that you're not going to do it again. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Be a leader. There's programs out there you can get involved in, jobs that'll pay you money, even at 17 years old. Don't get with people and do the wrong thing, because the pipeline to prison is real. That system ain't broke. And if it is broke, they ain't trying to fix it. That's free labor. If you know somebody that went to prison, ask them, how much do they get paid? Or they sleep all day. There ain't no sleeping all day. You can forget that, unless they put you in solitary confinement. But if you're in prison for a number of years, you working for 20 cents or 25 cents. I don't know if it's been raised or not. I only know from people that's been in prison, and they tell me, talk to them kids. When I used to formerly be the manager of Picasso's or Luxury Brown, the men that used to come through there after being incarcerated for 10, 20, or 30 years, talk to those young people. Promise me you will never give up on those young people. Tell them they don't want to go in that monster. I've been doing this for years, ever since I was a child, before there was the internet, before there was a camera. But one thing we must learn, they said it takes a village to raise a child. And I wrote this in one of my comic books. It takes a village to raise a child. But today's village is being raised by children. It's the product that we see with the violence, a lot of these young men and women, mothers, was either from 12 to 16 years old. We got to do better. I'm no different from you. But my promise is to keep talking. Maybe it will resonate with some young person. If I made a mistake, like everybody else, ain't nobody going to escape being on this planet and not make a mistake. Not one. But when you make that mistake, just remember one thing. You can't continue. Because if you do, it's going to catch up with you. I was brought up in a 2-family home, my mom and dad. And my mom would say, you can run, but you can't hide. Whenever you do something, regardless of what it is, because if it's you do it in the dark, it's going to come to light. I've been blessed myself. I've been in situations that maybe I shouldn't have done. But I learned one thing: tell the truth. As the old school saying is, tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm not going to lie on myself, but I will tell the truth on myself. If I did it, I will say I did it. Because if I hadn't done anything, I wouldn't be after someone to question me. That's why I pick and choose who my friends are, who I associate with, and where I go in public. I'm not going to places looking for a fight, and I'm not looking to try to prove something to someone. I only have one person to prove something to, and that's the Creator and His Son, because they're two different entities. You get it twisted. We have to teach, educate, train the mind. The mind is the most powerful weapon you possess. You have a right side and a left side. Why do you think everything is music? Everything is music. Music is a frequency that controls your frequency of your brain. But ain't nobody don't want you to know that. You just think you dancing and bobbing and wobbing. Oh, I'm doing the jerk. I'm doing the duck. I'm doing the swim. I'm doing the monkey. I'm doing the wobble. Whatever you do, it's a frequency. And if P. Diddy didn't get on the Billboard Awards and said he was going to change it, he probably wouldn't be where he is today. He probably wouldn't be here where he is today. He said, I'm going to change the frequency of music. Oh, you shouldn't have said that, buddy. That's a no-no. You have to understand that God communicates with each and every one on a frequency. Meditation is very important. Your whole body is designed for frequencies you don't see, you don't hear them, but they're there. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know God is real. And I'm not here to preach. We all got gifts within us. For every hair on our head, He knows who we are. Our young people needs to know who He is. I don't care what religion you study, and most people don't understand what religion is. What I'm doing right now, if you're watching me, what I'm doing right now, simply see what's going on. See, I know when people come on. It's because there's a frequency. And when you don't know how these things work, that's why we're losing our youth. Everything, as the old school say, everything that looks good to you ain't good for you. But what we must learn to do and realize that whatever we do, we have to protect the next generation. Take a moment and sit down and talk to a young person if you're seeing them doing something wrong. But you say, well, they ain't going to listen to me. All you have to do is pull them to the side. You don't talk to them in front of people. You don't talk to them in front of their friends. Wait till things calm down. Even pull them to the side and say, don't get yourself in trouble. If you have a problem, take it to the school teacher. Take it to the principal. But most of all, tell your mother and your father. Telling your brother and sisters on are going to create more problems. And it even creates problems when your mom and you tell your mom and dad. But what we must do is communicate. When we want something, we can say, hey, I want those new Jordans, Mom. Can I get a new cell phone? Mom, can I get a cell phone? Can I get an iPad? Whatever. You're asking. It is up to us to stop making our kids our friends. They are children. We got to learn to love them. We got to learn to let them know that whatever it takes, that we are going to survive, that we are going to continue to work together to make sure your life is a good one. For those that are watching, when is the last time you took the family to a movie, on an outing? When you went shopping, when is the last time you took the kids to the grocery store with you? I know they always wanted something. They always wanted something. So you don't want to take them with you. But what's important is you're teaching them how to shop. You're teaching them, hey, this is what you need to learn. Because someday you'll be on your own. My son used to beg me when he was 15 or 16, say, teach me how to cook. I said, no, I cook, But Dad, I want to learn. I want to learn. Then sometimes I say, okay, what do you want to cook? Then I let him try out. He would cook. He was never afraid to learn something. My last son, Alexander. The rest of them, they worked with me in the clubs. They had different duties in the club until they decided to go to college or to save money to go to college. They worked in the club. And then when they was on spring break, they come and do some work. But I'm no different from you. I just want kids to be happy. I want kids to grow up and say, hey, I made it. Because that world out there is rough. But if you could come together, gang banging, stealing, you don't have to do all that. That's the pipeline to prison or to the cemetery. All you have to do is learn to be able to sell stuff yourself. You got 20 people in a gang, and y'all can't get 100. That's $2,000 right there. $2,000. And you can start your own business for less. There's easy ways to make money that won't get you in jail, won't get you to the cemetery. Easy. You don't have to have all the money. If you look at TV or on the internet, all these people getting all that money is paying a bigger price. than what they thought they would have to pay. We have to make a choice in educating and teaching our young people the right things to do. It ain't no easy way out. Even rich people don't have an easy way out. Because someday, if they train their kids the right way, then they'll be able to grow up to be leaders of the community, the neighborhoods, run for city council, become mayors, become governors, senators, congressmen, and even the president of the United States. Technology is here. When I was most of these young people age, I was about 12 or 13 when they started talking about the technology, the computer. They said, this is the future. That was in the 60s. Technology is here. The stuff you see in movies, like Will Smith played in iRobot. That's just to get you comfortable in seeing robots. Get you comfortable seeing police officers. Don't get too comfortable. God made this planet so you can enjoy life. Because you are heaven on earth. But where do you go when you leave here? That is God's choice. You don't even have a clue. That's why you must understand your actions is required to better yourself. You may not have all that you want, but you woke up this morning. You may not have the food that you love, but you had a plate on the table with something on it. You may not have the clothes that you desire to wear, but you didn't walk out the house naked. There's people sleeping on the street. Some don't even have food to eat, shelter, or clothes. But you was blessed to wake up, to start on your journey on this planet called Mother Earth. You have a responsibility for your ancestors, for what they went through for 400 years of free labor. The things that they went through, they don't even so horrible that the system don't even want the kids, the white kids, to know. What they did to our ancestors, they don't want nobody to know, especially the new generation. Your ancestors paid a heavy price for you to be here living today. I recognize the price they paid for me. I know the price they paid. That's why I get up every chance I get. Every chance I get to come on here and do this show. Even when Facebook and them are trying to block me, they can't stop me, but they'll try to keep me from sharing my page with you, because they think they smarter than the average bear. They think they're smarter than the average bear. I can't tell you what you can't do. I can only tell you what you need to do. I can tell you that if you believe in yourself with all your mind, with all your heart, you can accomplish anything in this world. You have the power. That's why we keep losing our young people, because the power is within. The power is within us. I share because I care. And I want your children to care. I want your children to wake up and have a bright future. My campaign begins in a few weeks. I can't take back the community, but I can spread love to the community that's missing it. It ain't always a party. And I DJ for over 40 some years, and I still do. And I hope that you would download this app. And if you wasn't on your phone, you can scan that, but it'll be on my page. So if you ever on Facebook, Instagram, or all the social medias, if you scan that picture right there, you will download WVDM Radio, where we play positive music. We play the oldies, we play the latest new music, but most of all, to try to let people know we got great talent here, I play a variety of local artists. Local artists. We need to support them so our young people will know, hey, he's from here. Is that the guy down the street or the young lady across the street? She's in my school. He go to my church. I play every genre of music. African beats, Jamaican music, R&B, pop, rock, blues, salsa, house music, go-go music. If you don't believe me, tune in today at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock to 5 on frequency distribution. If we're not going to do anything, we have to change the frequency of way our young people think. We're losing a generation. You cannot turn on the TV in the 757 and 2 or 3 people that got killed, young people lying in bed getting shot. What part we don't understand? Somebody ain't doing their job. It's called parenting. That's going to cause another parent to lose a loved one. We all fall short of grace, meaning we all make mistakes. But we cannot make no mistake when it comes to our future. Long when we are gone, long when we are no longer on this planet, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren will still have to live. But how can they live if all the kids are being killed today for the pipeline to prison, for organs, sex trafficking? We are facing a major problem in our community. Drugs of all kinds. We can't sit around and just keep our lips tight. We have to educate. We have to talk, not talk at our children, but sit down and hold a conversation with our children. That's what I did to raise mine. I wasn't my son's friends. I was their dad because I loved them. I saw what the world was doing before I had kids. And when I had kids, I did a situation and got in a relationship and I had a child when I was married. But I wasn't going to leave my kids for someone else to raise. I had to buckle down. I was working 3 jobs. You might say, well, you was a DJ. Yeah. DJ at the radio station, DJ at a club, and a DJ at 3 clubs. I was DJing 3 different places, and I might get 4 hours of sleep. But that's what I chose to do because I was responsible for each one of my children. And I'm not going to jail for somebody to take care of my children. I'm going to go out here and get to working. And I work a lot of hours, and I put in a lot of work. You can't beat me at what I do. I don't care what job you got. I do the work of 10. And if you can do the work of 10, I'm going to up it again to 15. I don't need to get no sleep. Everything I do is a purpose. I used to get fussed out by the owners of the club calling me like, everybody's calling and they can't reach you. I say, I'm asleep. Well, what time did you go to bed? About 10 o'clock this morning. You didn't go to bed last night? No, I was doing some work. You need to go to bed. No, I go to bed when I feel like it. No, you don't control me. This is the thing. We have to make a decision on how we're going to work, how we're going to spend our time. We're supposed to spend our time making things happen, not waiting till things happen and then reacting. We see our kids dying, and I'm sorry. We see kids dying and mothers ain't crying. All you got to do is watch the news. I get to crying just thinking about it. I get to crying just thinking about something happened to a child. And I'm not throwing shade and say they don't care, but there ain't no way in the world. And I done been to a lot of funerals. I don't always cry. I didn't cry when my mother died. I didn't cry when my dad died. I didn't cry when my sister died. And she lived in my house. She died in my house. I've been to so many funerals and family, because everybody's my family. Every club I worked in, there was people that were dying. And I went to most of their funerals. Some I didn't. But I try to pay respect because they made me their family, because they supported me in what I done. People thinking because, the club is closed, all right, we put you out of business. Partner, you can never put me out of business. Only person can put me out of anything is God. Don't let nobody get it twisted. Nobody can put you out of business. Only God can stop you from doing what you want to do. If you believe in yourself and pray to God, He answers prayer. He's standing right there. Use your third eye and stop using your regular eyes, because your regular eyes will lie to you. You ain't got nobody. Don't nobody care about you. Go ahead and take that gun. Do what you got to do. Go ahead and take this and make a hustle out of it. Don't you know anything that you can buy, you can resell? Why are you going to sell your soul to the devil? The devil made me do it. Yeah, he probably did. He told you it was going to be easy. That's why you see P. Diddy in the news today. That's why you see him in the news. We got to stop playing games. Children only know what you teach. When it comes about slavery, you see them passing laws. They passing laws. So those white kids don't know nothing about what their ancestors did to us. They passing laws. You can't even say this or say that or talk about it. They passing laws to hide the truth of what our ancestors went through and what they continue to put us through. Everything that's going on. Has anybody heard any more about restoration? What happened to all the money that we're going to get? My goodness. Where the bag at? Where the bag that they owe us for our ancestors 400 years of free labor? Everything that's going on. The pipeline to prison ain't slowed down. Undertaker's still making major money. What's going on? Because we failed. The only ball we don't drop is the basketball, or the football, the tennis ball, the bowling ball. But we didn't drop the ball on our young people. We dropped the ball on our young people. I know you working 2-3 jobs and you don't know what's going on in your house. So somebody decided to drive by, take a couple of shots. Or the police come and knock on somebody's door and say, I hate to inform you that your daughter or your son got killed. They deserve a chance to live. We live it. We live. We're getting older. Kids down at 6, 7, 8, getting shot, carrying guns to school, shooting teachers. You don't tell your kids don't listen to the teacher when the teacher's there to teach them so they can become teachers. Everything we do, everybody is a teacher. Not just the one that got a license to teach in elementary, kindergarten. You have a license to teach your kids right from wrong. That's what God gave you. He gave you that law. Like I would tell my kids when they were growing up. Before I go stand down in front of a judge or a police officer, when I go down there, it's because I done tore your butt up. And believe it, I don't hold no punches because I love my kids. I love your kids and I don't even know them. That's why in a few weeks I'll be launching my campaign. I can't take back the community and you can't either. I let everybody keep their phrase. I'm just trying to take back the lives of our future generation, our future leaders. That's what I'm trying to take back. You can't take back something that you don't own. You can't take back the community. We live in the community. That's why you got commune and on the end, unity. Compound words you don't understand. Learn your English when compound words make something else change because it's a frequency. You thinking about taking back the community like, oh, we going to march. We're going to take back the community. Okay. How long you been doing it? How long have we been marching? And kids are dying every day. How long have we been marching? Kids in prison every day. But see, if you love them and show that love and tell them to give you their word, that they won't do anything without talking to you first. And look them in the eye, because the eye is the window to the soul. That's why they won't look at you. Look a person in the eye when you talk to them. Don't let them twist their head all around and looking down at the ground. Look me in my eye. I'm talking to you. I'm just trying to say I love you. I'm just trying to say I care. I don't have to wait till somebody knock on the door and said that you are not coming home anymore. I shouldn't have to wait to go to the undertaker shop and say, yeah, that's mine. I shouldn't have to wait and say I'm having a candlelight visual, letting balloons loose and lighting candles. You got it twisted. When you get balloons and candles, that's a birthday. That's a celebration of life. You dead. As they say, old school. The dead know what the living is doing, but the living don't know what the dead is doing. You don't know what the dead person is doing when you're having a candlelight visual. But what was he doing when he was alive? How many balloons you buy? How many parties that you give him when they was alive? How many balloons you bring home just to say you did good in school this week? How many cakes you buy and put candles on and say you passed to the next level? I know some people don't want to hear it. But as they say, the truth is the light. And I let the light shine, because I'm not blind. I almost went blind. Thank God I got the right doctors. And I'm still going to the doctor today, next week, for another surgery after having about 4. God don't make mistakes. The enemy will come after you. The ones that you see and the ones that you can't see. Because when you're on the battlefield for the Lord, it's not just me. The enemy will stop you at all costs. That's why you have to pray and ask God to cover you with the blood of Jesus. No man is an island unto himself. Our children need someone that's going to love them and care. Our children, the ones that we meet, the ones that we greet, and the ones we bring in this world, they need somebody to stop playing the game. Like they checkers on a board. That's the kind of game you're playing. That's checkers. You take all the pieces off the board to win the game of your opponent. The enemy don't play checkers. He plays chess. He's already knowing what he's going to do to you. But when God bless you, you know what he can't do to you. It's in scripture. Because Satan and God was sitting down talking. Oh, they talk. It's in your book that you don't read. One of the people that's in the devil told God, say, I can make Joe curse you and die. So he challenged God. And God said, you can do whatever you want to Joe. But one thing I'm not going to let you do is kill him. And he was testing Job. Job got sick. Job was a rich man, lost all his cattle, all his land. And then he came down with an illness. His wife came to him and said, what kind of God do you serve? You done lost everything and you here laying on her deathbed. She said, all you have to do, why don't you just curse your God and die? Curse him and die. And Joe looked at her and said, you don't sound like a wife. I'm going to wait right here until my change comes. We all go through things, but do you believe in what God has already promised you? He don't talk to us, but he do talk to Satan to keep him off you. As long as you pray in the name of Jesus. Don't get it twisted. The most powerful name in the universe that can come out your mouth is Jesus. But the world will try to fool you and deceive you. And that it seems like they're winning. And they only win if you give up. Believe in yourself. And when you believe in whatever you want, you pray. Meditate. All these combinations is in you. Your frequency is what the enemy is blocking. By all this negativity going on, turn on the TV, go to a movie, all this negativity. And you're trying to figure out how come everything I try to do don't work? Because he got your frequency blocked. He got you not believing in yourself. He got you believing in everybody else. First, you got to believe in yourself and believe that Jesus will answer your prayer. But again, I didn't come to preach. I hope you join me at 3 o'clock to 5 on WVDM, the logo. It'll be on the internet. You can click on my Facebook page at WVDM on my Facebook page and join in and listen. And at 5 o'clock, it's the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry with the voice of inspiration. I got 3-4 different voices I use. I like creating stuff. I'm a creator. Remember to love yourself and put God first. Everything else will fall in place. It doesn't matter what others think about you. It's what you think about yourself. Don't forget to vote. Until next time, I'll see you. This has been Captain 85.